Have you ever wondered if, at this very moment, somebody, or something, is he watching you from space? Not with human eyes, not with cameras, but with technology that we can't even imagine. Maybe we have never been alone. Maybe we are the experiment. There are signals coming from deep within the universe that no one can explain. There are structures on moons and planets that appear artificial. And there are files, leaked documents, that show that some space agencies saw things and hid them. What really are you outside? What do they know that we don't know? Forget what you learned at school. Today you will hear theories that challenge everything. Theories that link scientists, military personnel, secret files, and messages from another world. And when you finish this video, you may never look at the sky the same way again. Imagine the scene. You're there, doing your job as an astronomer, looking at the data and so on, when suddenly your computer picks up a strange signal coming from space. And you stop everything and think, what is that? That's exactly what happened in 1977, when a guy named Jerry Amon, who was at the Big Ear radio telescope at Ohio State University, caught a mysterious sign coming from space. It wasn't any interference. No. The signal was strong, of course, and with such a unique frequency that the guy ran out of words and wrote "wow" on paper. And this is how it has become known to this day. The wow signal. And the strangest thing, no one to date has been able to explain what caused this. What makes this story even more bizarre is that the signal came from a super specific frequency linked to the hydrogen, the most basic element in the universe. In other words, if someone wanted to communicate with us, this would be one of the simplest and most direct ways to do so, right? The question that remains is, if it were an attempt by aliens to communicate, why would they choose exactly this frequency? It seems very planned, right? Like a try discreet to say hello, but without giving too much face. The signal only lasted 72 seconds, just that, and it never appeared again. They tried several times to capture something similar later, but nothing. As if someone had given a quick tap and walked away, like hi and leave. What if this isn't just a coincidence? And if this signal is exactly what it seems to be, an attempt to communicate with us, but done in a subtle way, like just a quick touch to see if we notice? Or maybe it is a secret message, which we still haven't been able to understand because we are far from understanding it. Who knows, maybe we won't be ready to understand what happened. Gives you something to think about, right? Now comes the strangest part of all. Why did NASA never talk much about wow sign? Type, wow guys, a signal from space. This is serious. And NASA just stays quiet, without comment. There are some leaked documents from scientists from SETI, the people trying to find signs of alien life, which shows that they even discussed this sign. But no one really delved into it. And what's worse, some of these documents indicate that the signal came from a region near the constellation Sagittarius, which, incidentally, is the place where there are several legends about interdimensional door. Coincidence? Or are they hiding something? So what if the wow sign? Wasn't it just an error or system failure? And if it was, in reality, the first contact with some extraterrestrial intelligence? Imagine, it was just 72 seconds, but it was enough to drive us crazy to this day. Some people within NASA have already said indirectly that there are a lot of things we don't know, and more, that we are not ready to know everything. Why would it be, right? What are they trying to hide of us? Are we being observed all the time? And if do you already know much more about us than we imagine? If you thought the wow sign, it was the strangest thing that happened, get ready for what's coming now. Over the years, scientists and space explorers have come across mysterious structures on the Moon and Mars. And when I say structures, they are not ordinary formations, but things that just don't look natural. One of the most curious images came from Mars Global Surveyor probe in 2001. The photo shows a pyramid on Mars with a perfectly square base, nothing more, nothing less than a pyramid on the red planet. The formations are so symmetrical and accurate that even trying to look at it rationally, it is difficult not to think that there is something more behind it. But it's not just this pyramid. There are others, pillars, tombs, and even structures that can be seen on Mars. All of this leads to a single thought. Has Mars ever been inhabited? Or will it still? There's something hidden there. A pyramid of Mars became famous for her lines rare and geometric, so perfect that they seem to have been made by someone and not by natural forces. It is located in a region of Mars where, if we look closely, we see other structures with similar shapes. Some think the pyramid is not just a coincidence, but rather a clue that somebody been there. It's not just an ordinary rock. And impressive how much she looks purposeful. And the most curious thing is that, despite so much evidence, no one has ever gone much deeper into this topic. These signs can be the key to understanding something that is still hidden. And if the pyramid on Mars didn't impress you, the moon did even more mysterious structures. When NASA missions began taking photos of the lunar surface, some images showed geometric shapes that could not have formed naturally. Furthermore, in certain regions of the moon, where researchers prefer don't go deeper, appear triangles, circles, and other forms that appear to have been purposeful. These images suggest that the moon may not be as natural as we imagine. Some say that some of these formations are lunar bases of ancient civilizations or even civilizations that were there a long time ago, but that we still cannot to understand. There have even been theories about abandoned moon bases, perhaps in an alien civilization, who stayed there for be observed for anyone who wants to look. With everything that has been found, the theory of an alien colony on Mars and the moon, it begins to gain more strength. If these structures are not the work of nature, it is because someone did they. Some researchers believe that these structures are very old and possibly reveal a civilization extraterrestrial who inhabited or still inhabits these planets. The idea is that these civilizations are not just hidden, but perhaps they are waiting for the right moment to reveal yourself. What if what we've found so far is just the start? Are we just scratching the surface of something much bigger? Something that will change our view of the universe and the history of humanity? Imagine that you are walking down the street and suddenly you realize that you are being watched. But it's not someone watching you closely. It's as if there were people somewhere else, watching you from afar, but doing nothing. Now imagine this on a cosmic scale. Some of the most common theories insane about extraterrestrial life, they say we are being observed by aliens, but in a very discreet way. They would be seeing, but without interfering in our lives, as if it were an experiment or simply a form of entertainment. And that's the cosmic zoo theory. The idea is that we are being watched, like animals in a zoo, but without them affecting our lives. Like, we are being observed from afar, but without any direct involvement. And why would they do that? Well, maybe the alien crowd sees Earth as something interesting to observe. They may have already traveled to several planets and civilizations, and Earth is just another experiment on their long list. And again, the question is, they are here and watching us. Why don't they do anything? If you think this idea is a bit crazy, think about it a little. How many documentaries and books talk about UFO sightings and flying objects around military bases, cities, and even remote areas? And in all these reports, the aliens, they never engage directly with us. They just notice, make a quick visit and leak. Looks like another hobby for them, like someone watching a reality show from a distant planet. There are even those who say that they are monitoring us to see if we are ready to get in touch. But, for now, we are alone, observed, as if our evolution were a kind of scientific experiment. And if this is true, it is quite possible that they already know a lot more about us than we imagine. They must have studied everything about Earth, from our behavior to how we react to extreme situations. And, if they are already here, have they seen us go through one of the greatest revolutions in history? But the most intriguing thing is, if they are here, what they want from us. What if the theory of cosmic zoo? Is it really the simplest explanation? Think. There would be no reason for them to interfere if they already knew everything about us. Maybe they don't want to mix with a planet that's still trying meat. Who knows, maybe they look at us like someone looks at a rare animal, studying our behavior, and waiting for the right moment to do something great contact. Now something else. That is even more intriguing. If we are being observed, Are we being prepared for something? What is known is that several ancient civilizations from different cultures around the world have myth and stories about beings from heaven or gods who came down to interact with humanity. Did these beings, were they extraterrestrials? And if they are watching us, what might happen when we get to the point at which we are ready for this contact? What will happen to our society and our future as a species? Are we about to make the greatest discovery of our history, or are we just beginning to understand our place in the universe? Now hold on to this. What if the next big threat we're going to experience is completely false? There is a theory that has been around for decades and is, to say the least, frightening. The so-called Blue Beam Project. According to her, NASA, along with other secret organizations, would have a plan to simulate an alien invasion. That's exactly what you heard. A fake invasion, created with very advanced hologram and sound technology. The idea would be to project giant images into the sky, spaceships, floating gods, lights, voices, all very real, all very convincing. And the objective? Generate panic around the world, making people believe that we are being attacked by beings from another planet. With fear taking over, governments would join forces and create a kind of new world order and total control based on chaos. Sounds like something from a movie, right? But there are people who say that this technology already exists and that small tests have already taken place. Those strange reports of lights in the sky, objects that disappear out of nowhere, or even crosses and mysterious figures appearing between clouds. Perhaps they are not miracles or ETs, but rather rehearsals of an intergalactic theater being prepared for years. And you know what makes everything more sinister? The silence. NASA never talks about this, never comments, never officially denies it, just ignore it. And this only fuels the theory even more. Now think with me. What if everything we see which seems inexplicable is just a distraction? What if in the midst of all this, someone is manipulating the way we see the sky to hide what's really there? What if this is just the beginning? We talked about signals, strange structures, leaked documents, but in the next video things go even deeper. There are stories of space missions that were never officially recorded, astronauts who came back, different and hidden messages in NASA's own transmissions. If you thought this video was weird, the next one might blow your mind. So make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and get ready. Because something is coming, and you won't believe it.